Hey everybody, welcome to our weekly Fit Boss Squad team call. We moved to the evening and I'm super excited to see who all can hop on at nighttime. If there's a big difference between our normal 1 o'clock time versus this new 9 o'clock time slot, but I would love to hear your feedback on that and if you prefer that we meet in the evening. So really excited for tonight's call. I'm sure that you guys have noticed I have been a little bit MIA for the last 5 days. We were in Dallas at UPW, a Tony Robbins seminar, myself, some of the leaders from Team Uproar, and it was absolutely incredible. And I have so much that I want to share with you guys, but I'm going to start with little snippets that I think will be easily digestible and applicable in your business immediately. So I'm going to start sharing my screen with you guys. All right, so we are going to be talking, and hopefully you guys can see my screen. We're going to be talking about how to take charge of your life, how to dominate your life, your business, your relationships. So I'm very excited for this. Now let me figure out how I can do this so that you can, so that I can move my slides. All right, so we should be sharing my screen now, so this should be working perfectly. So I think that's something that holds a lot of people back in their business is that they overcomplicate things. Complexity is the enemy of execution. And when you feel like you have too much to do, it's too hard, there's too many steps, there's too many tasks, you end up doing absolutely nothing. And I think as coaches, as business owners, as people who are diving into something totally new, it can be very easy for us to overcomplicate everything in this business, overcomplicate Success Club, overcomplicate helping people, overcomplicating our power hours, when really, you guys, it is so simple. And I really try to get this point across all the time. This business is not complicated. If it's complicated for you, that's because you are overanalyzing things. This is what you should be doing every single day. Number one, post on social media. You need to be posting on social media 5 to 6 times a day. This is nothing groundbreaking, but just in case anybody's wondering, how simple is this business? You'll be posting on social media, adding value, working out, reading personal development, and inviting and sharing with others. Like, it's that simple. This is what you should do every single day. If you're doing this every day, you would be hard pressed to not be successful at this. But I think what happens is people can get discouraged because they might not be amazing at it day one. They might not have every single amazing skill of an amazing top Beachbody coach the very first day that they get started, and they will let themselves get discouraged. Maybe they're not that great at social media, or they're not that great at inviting, or they're not that great at being consistent. Whatever it is, if they don't see success in a snap, if they don't see success in a week, they assume that they just suck, they're doomed, they're never going to be amazing at this. When I could not stress to you enough how opposite that is from the truth. This is something that you learn, and repetition is going to get you there. Repetition is what creates skill. If you go back and look at the beginning of my social media, it's really ugly. Like, really, it's very bad. But people were hanging along because I was very consistent. And as I kept going every single day, never giving up, always showing up, I got better. It's natural. You are naturally going to get better if you are very consistent and repetitive in your business. So these things, do them every day. Do them every day without fail. You are bound to get better at them. It's impossible that you wouldn't. Literally impossible. So give yourself, I always tell people, give yourself a 3-month learning curve of giving it your all every single day. Every single day. If you're not willing to do that, it's going to be very hard for you to build a successful business of your own. You're a business owner. So while everything is right here served you on a silver platter, nobody can choose to use it and use it daily and use it consistently but you. You have to make that choice that you want this. Now, something else that really stuck with me this weekend, because this is so applicable to our businesses, is that information without emotion is rarely retained. Now, you can think about this so many ways. You can think about this as the captions that you share on social media. You can think about this as how you invite people to your boot camp, how you let them know what your boot camp has to offer. You can think of this as how you let people know what you do as a coach in a sneak peek. Everything that I put out there is loaded with emotion. It's loaded with story, because that's what makes people reach out to me. That's what makes people connect with me. And as humans, that's all we want to do, is connect with other people. When I was a new coach and I was inviting people to my challenge group, I made a video for that. And you can go find it on my YouTube. I still have it up there. It's not like an actual, like it's a voiceover on a slideshow, because I was way too uncomfortable to do a real video. But I shared my story in it. And then at the end I said, and now I'm super excited to welcome you, to my it was my Fitting and Fit Bootcamp, and I themed it that every single month, and I let them know exactly what they could expect. You can go look at that. But before they heard about that, they heard my story. They heard what I was up to. And no matter where you're at in your fitness journey, you have a story. Whether it's day 1 or day 1,000, you have something to share. But people need to get to know you before they get attached and want to join your bootcamp. It's going to be very hard to do cold sales, cold invites, and never let them know who you are. So if you're loading people up with emotion, loading people up with story, loading people up with who you are, they are going to, first off, the info is going to click. The info is going to make them realize that they could change their life, and they're going to want to work with you. So remember that. Load everything with emotion, load everything with story. Now, this is the science of achievement, how to create success in your business. This is a very simple idea, but it could literally change your life if you take this seriously. None of this information is going to be groundbreaking. None of it is going to change your life unless you listen, take notes, put it into action, engage, comment after this team call. Every week we have a team call, and without fail, only 2 or 3 people will comment afterwards with takeaways. I always ask you to, but most of you don't. And that is a literal, direct reflection of how this business works. Most people, they don't achieve insane success. And that's because of themselves. That's because of them holding themselves back. So here you have it, 3 steps to crush it in your business. Number 1 would be the science of achievement. This means to be crystal clear in where you're going, what your goals are, and it's important to realize that where focus goes, energy flows. If you're focusing on sucking, if you're focusing on getting no's, if you're focusing on nobody answering you, if you're focusing on being nervous, if you're focusing on being anxious, if you're focusing on, can I do this? That is exactly where your energy is going to go in your conversations, in your life. Who wants to join and sign up with somebody who's super self-conscious and not sure of themselves? Because you're going to be portraying that in every conversation, even if you don't think you are. If you're using a cold script, copy and pasting, I honestly think that that shows a little bit of lack of confidence, because you can't just naturally have a conversation with somebody. Now, it's a great thing to kind of model your conversations off of, but don't be afraid to get in there and ask personal questions and get deep with it. You need to get hungry. You need to stay hungry, and then you need to get more hungry. It's crazy to me. I've almost been coaching for 2 years now. And you guys, day 1, I remember telling Nick that I was going to be great at this. And he was like, oh, okay. But I knew it. And today I only get hungrier. I want it more. Never, ever, ever have I lost my hunger for this business, for creating the life of my dreams, for helping people get healthy and fit. And every single day it grows. But if you lose that hunger, if you allow yourself to lose that hunger, and it's a choice, your business is not going to explode like you want it to. So that is kind of the science of achievement. Know where you're going, be crystal clear on that, focus on that, focus on the positive, and get hungry as hell. Number 2, take massive action. You guys, success leaves clues. How many times have you heard me say this? Success leaves clues. But you have to actually go find the clues and then implement them. So if you follow a ton of top coaches, yet you don't actually post on social media, or you don't actually implement any of the things that you're learning from them or seeing them doing, you're not going to grow, right? That's very natural. That's a natural thought. But we can tend to do that and not even realize it. You have to take 10 times action. If you want to be insane successful, which all of you do, if you want to create the life of your dreams, you want to help so many people get started on their fitness journey, you want to make a difference in the world, can you do that by doing the bare minimum? Can you do that by doing your 3 invites a day? Now, we say 3 because that's a great way to get comfortable with it. But do you think that I've built my business by talking to just 3 people a day? No, I did in the beginning, and then I instantly started incrementally growing that. You have to take massive action in your business. This is not a new concept. Post on social media 5 to 6 times a day, and those posts should be amazing. You should constantly be getting better at it. Like I said, my first posts were ugly, but for me, where I was at right then, they were amazing. And I constantly figured out how to get better at that. I would do research, get that research on social media. I read so many books on Instagram, Facebook, branding, marketing. I did Instagram trainings. I did Instagram trainings on YouTube. I looked at what other people were doing so I could learn from the best. I didn't just assume I could ever be average and achieve great success, right? I took massive action instantly, and that's something that you have to do. So if you want to be like hitting Success Club 30 in the next month, Diamond, Star Diamond, whatever coach, making so much whatever money, helping so and so many people a month, You have to up the amount of action that you're taking. And I can tell you, there's never like too much action you can take. Like I can honestly say I could up my action every day, and I put in a lot of massive action into this. So if you're sitting there thinking like, well, yeah, I do a lot, I do enough. I mean, I think that that's a really limiting thought, because we can all do more. We can all help more people. And I think you have to realize that so that you can push yourself to the next level. And number 3 is to be grateful. The more that you acknowledge, the more that you have. The more that you're excited for the conversations you have going, the more that you are thankful for the people you have in your bootcamp, the more you're thankful for the loyal followers that you already have, the more that you're going to get, the more that you have a genuinely caring heart, and then you're genuinely grateful for what you have in your life, it's going to start reciprocating itself. So remember that every single day. It's amazing that you have your own business. It's amazing that you have the gift of health and fitness, and it's amazing that you get to share that with other people. Be grateful for that. Now, this is a cold, hard truth one that I like circled and starred in my notes at UPW because I love it so much. If it's not working, you're not working it. And I think that in this business, this couldn't be more true, right? If your coaching business isn't working, there's something that you are not doing, okay? I have shared every single tip, trick, resource, what I do in a day, my exact power hour, my exact social media formula, everything that I'm doing. And some people take it and run with it. And you can see who does. They constantly get recognized, and they're crushing it in their business, and they're helping people, and they're hitting Success Club, and they're achieving ranks that they want to achieve, and they're making money, and they're quitting their jobs. And there's some people who don't. And if you're one of those people, you have to stop and think to yourself, what am I not doing that I'm supposed to be doing? Because it's so simple. Are you doing all of these things every day? And that's something that only you know. You might say that you do, you might not. If you're not doing these things every day and you want to grow a massively successful business, it's like an equation that will never equal out. You have to take massive action in your business, take it seriously, believe that you can do it, but at the end of the day, what we have, this formula that we have for our businesses, post on social media, work out, read personal development, invite people. Heck, we have scripts on how to invite people. We have team boot camps. You guys, so many people don't have that. I would say 90% of teams, no, probably 99% of teams don't have team boot camps to invite to. They don't have a weekly sneak peek to invite people into. You guys have success served to you on a silver platter. So take advantage of that. If you need help ever, you need help with resources, with finding certain resources, with, hey, I don't know what's up with my social media, I'll give you a very upfront, honest answer, but you have to want it, right? But just realize that if this business isn't working for you, there's something that you are not doing. And only you will know that, because I cannot see into your business. I cannot see into your power hour. I cannot see into what you do every single day. So you have to self-assess here. Now, it's never a matter of ability. It's really a matter of motivation. And I love that, because you can come into this business. You guys, I have no degree. I have no fitness background. I started this business when I was living in my mom's basement, when I was horribly broke. There wasn't much that was motivational about me. And so I had to work at that. But I wasn't brought into this with like skills and ability. I had to get hungry for it and constantly get better every day. And that was because I was extremely motivated to get out of the life that I had, right? I didn't want to do a job that I hated. I would look at my classes and be like, this does not work for me. I will not settle. The same thing happened in my fitness journey. I looked at myself and said, no more. This is unacceptable. And so my motivation at that point was through the roof. But you are all supplied with the same tools, and you can all get better at everything in your business. The people that rise to the top are the people that are the most motivated. And motivation comes from within. So know that you can just rock into this business. Know what you can achieve, because you can achieve everything. You just have to get hungry enough to consistently show up and make it happen. Now, I love all of this as well. You're going to hear me say this a lot. Don't go after something like everyone else does. There are 460,000 coaches. How many of those coaches do you think are diamond? How many of those coaches do you think are hitting Success Club? It's not a great number. But here's the reason why. Most people settle. Most people settle for average. Most people see greatness as this challenge, and it is. It's something that you have to climb this mountain, and you have to know that you can get to the top. Most people aren't willing to lace up their shoes and walk up it. And that's just the reality of it. And I'll always be honest with you guys. I want to see everybody on this team crush it. That's something that you decide. You decide not to be average. You decide not to be mediocre. You have to take massive, consistent action. And listen, I get it. You're busy, you have life going on. Maybe this means that you miss out on a night out at the movies, or maybe you miss out on cocktails with friends, or maybe you miss out on whatever it might be. But massive action for the short term is going to give you insane long-term gain. I can't even tell you how many times I worked my business instead of going out and doing something fun, which I love my business, so I very much so consider it fun, but I would take those short-term sacrifices, and now here I am, I'm 23, I've not even been coaching for 2 years, and I'm able to stay home full-time. What do you think I get to do now? I get to do whatever the hell I want. And so that's something that you can have, but I knew, okay, so I hustle for a year. I hustle my butt off, and then I gain freedom. You guys, you have to be able to see that. Good action is only ever going to produce good results. So you have to decide, am I okay with good, or do I want outstanding? Outstanding action produces outstanding results. Your insane massive action is never not going to benefit you. Your outstanding, insane, massive action is never going to produce poor or good results, ever. When you try harder in your business, you probably do better, am I right? When you let yourself get beat up in your own head and you decide, okay, you know what? I don't know if I can do this. I'm struggling. This is hard. What happens? Your business falls apart. So this is something that can change like that. It can change on a dime. And it's up to you every single day. You're not doomed. Wherever you're at, you are not doomed to stay there forever. You can change that tonight. But you have to decide, are you going to be outstanding or okay? Are you going to be amazing or average? Make that decision, because when you do, when I told myself at the beginning of this year that I was going to be outstanding, I started working my business differently. If you were to ask me, Emily, when did you really start working your business? I would honestly say January of this year. I ran boot camps last year and I did them well, I did. But I never was team building. I never was owning up to the level of leadership that I knew that I could and should. And in January, I told myself, okay, this is it. These are your goals now. This is the kind of stuff that you achieve. I raised my standard and I told myself, okay, you know what? Success Club 10 was cool and all, but you hit 30. Hitting, having 5 coaches join your team is cool and all, but you have 20 coaches join your team every month. Having 5 people in your bootcamp is great and all, but 15 would be amazing. And I told myself that. I set those numbers as my goals, and you know what happened? Immediately, I took the action necessary to get there. So you just have to notice what you're doing, notice what you're getting, and if you're off just a little bit, and usually it is, it's just a little bit, you're 1 degree off. Maybe you're focusing on something a little too much, maybe you're not focusing on something enough, maybe your conversations just need a little tiny adjustment, or your social media just needs a little bit of a tiny adjustment. You have to be able to sit there and go, okay, how can I adjust my approach? I know where I'm going. I'm very strict on my goals and what I'm going to achieve, but I'm going to be flexible in how I get there. I'm going to adjust my approach until it works. This is something that is just such a concept for me that just stood out so much, and that is that outstanding is just 2 millimeters above everybody else. Now, they were talking about this in terms of a golf swing, that 2 millimeters can mean the difference between being amazing and hitting the ball straight down the fairway or hitting it like into the woods. And it's true, it's just 2 millimeters. And I think that this is the same in our business. I'm not doing that much more than anybody else, but I'm always 2 millimeters above them. I'm always doing a little bit more than they are. I'm always working a little bit harder than they are. I'm always putting in a little bit more effort than them. And I'm very comfortable saying that because I know it's true. I know the life that I want to make for myself. I know the impact that I want to make on the world, and I'm willing to do more than other people to get there. But at this point, when you're outstanding, when you're just working a little bit harder than everybody else, you're just a little bit better, you get all the benefits. You get all the perks. So many people don't achieve the goals that they set out to. And that just leaves room for people like you, rock stars, to rise to the top. This is something that I love. Outstanding people make us feel capable. Think about that. Outstanding people make us feel capable. This on social media is prevalent. Outstanding social media accounts make us feel like we can take action. People who share their story outstandingly make other people believe that they could get healthy and fit too. People who share about this business outstandingly, not that they're necessarily hit a certain rank, hit a certain goal, but people who share about what it means to them make other people feel like they could achieve that feeling. Outstanding makes people feel capable. Average makes people not take action. So in your social media, if you're looking at it and you go, you know, it's okay. Does it look professional? Does it look appealing? Does it add value? Is it sharp? Is it bright? Is it colorful? Is it to the standard of what I hold myself to? If it's not as outstanding as it could be. You're going to get there. It takes practice. Like we said, repetition is what's going to produce skill like that. But as you start to get better at this, as you start to get more outstanding, you're going to notice people reaching out to you out of the blue because you're making them feel and believe that they can make a change in their life as well. You have to raise the standard of your energy, of your action, of your commitment, of your consistency. I just told you about how I changed everything in my business in January. Now, I didn't change anything that I was doing per se, the activities. I just amped it all up. I said, you know what? I'm getting my power hour done in the morning. I'm going to wake up and do my miracle morning because there's nothing else going on at 5 a.m. so I could be working my business. I said, you know what? I'm going to hit high Success Club numbers. I'm going to earn more money. I'm going to achieve whatever rank in the company. I'm going to do these things and I'm going to do whatever it takes to get there. I'll be as consistent as I have to be. That's why I say nobody outworks me. Nobody out hustles me. I challenge you to because I want you to. You have to raise that standard of your everything. And when I did, you guys can probably see the massive jumps and strides that the Fit Fast Squad has been making. In January, we were before the year started, we were number like 2,800. Immediately, we were in the top 100. Now we're number 20, you guys, in the entire company. Last year, I was, quote unquote, I hate this term, not good at building my team. It's something that I always wanted to be good at. It was a goal for me. I wanted to be a leader, but I would tell myself I wasn't good at it. January 1st, I told myself, you know what? You're going to do this. You're going to do a weekly sneak peek, and you are going to be a team builder, and you're going to build your dream team. And now every week on the National Wake Up Call, you'll hear my name as top recruiter, top team builder, top challenge track sales, top Success Club points. All I did was change my mindset. All I did was change my level of commitment and consistency. That was it. Nothing else changed. So that could be done for you. In 3 months of that mindset, I was able to quit my job. In 6 months of that mindset, we're number 20 and we're on the rise. That could be your reality as well. And you don't have to have that first year of like finding your way through and not setting goals that are big enough for yourself. I'm telling you right now, that doesn't have to be your reality. Learn from my mistakes and learn from my successes and duplicate that in your business. Outstanding has to become your new standard. I don't set average as a standard for myself ever, not even good anymore. Now that I know what I'm capable of, the very first time I hit Success Club like 40, I was like, okay, you know what? I can never not hit lower than this because I'm capable of this. I know that I am. It's my new standard. And from there I went, okay, 50. And from there I went 60. And from there I said, okay, 70. Last month I set my goal at 100. That was crazy. I hit 96. But that was my best month in Success Club, 96. And what do you think my level is this month? 110. Rise that bar for yourself every single month. It has to become your new standard. Be a little bit more outstanding for you until you get to the point where you are dominating it. You're dominating your life, everything in your life. You're doing harder workouts. You're eating better. You're working harder in your business. You're doing everything better. Our new standard of living. Outstanding is not a skill. We all have the same skill set in this. We're all given the same skill set. We're all given the same grow and figure out how to crush it. Some people do better than others. And you know why? Themselves that they were going to. They decided, you know what? I'm going to crush it. I cannot live life like I am any buzz for me. Some people, successful people, hit a pain point where they decide, you know what? This doesn't work for me anymore. I will do whatever it takes to. I was not in shape or form going. I was not going to work in insurance. I wasn't going to be surrounded by people that hate. I wasn't going to be in a job that I hated. I wasn't going to settle. I just wasn't. And so for me, that was enough of a pain that I was like, this business is working for me no matter what. I don't care what I have to do to make that happen. Then after I made that decision, I said, you know what, now, and in January I said this, I have to get out of my serving job. I have to stop waiting tables. It's soul sucking. And I literally would describe it as soul sucking. It sucked the happiness right out of me. People treat you like crap when you wait tables sometimes. And it can be very, very degrading and dehumanizing. And I told myself, never again, I'm going to stop this. It took me 3 months. It took me 3 months of going through working and working my business and going to school and doing all of these things, but knowing that I was putting a little bit more heart and effort into one of these things because it was going to make the rest of my dreams and life possible. And so I decided, you know what, this is happening, and I made it happen. When you make that choice, you'll make it happen. When you decide and you know where you're going, you'll do whatever it takes to get there. And I heard this analogy today. It's like, you wouldn't just drive your car and not have a destination, right? If you were going somewhere and you didn't put it in your GPS, or you didn't have a map, or you didn't know where you were going, you wouldn't just drive around aimlessly and hope that you end up there, especially if you were in somewhere you didn't know. So in your business, you shouldn't just drive around aimlessly hoping that you stumble upon success. Make a roadmap for yourself. This is what I'm achieving now. This is what I'm achieving by this date. This is what I'm doing by then. This is how many people I'm helping this month. This is how much personal development I'm reading. This is what workout program I'm committing to. I mean, make a plan for yourself. It's a business, right? But it's a choice, and you have to make that decision. It's up to you. You decide if you succeed in this. I wish I could make that decision for you because I'd make it for all of you. I want you to all have insane success in this. And the beauty is that you all have the ability to be successful in this. You are more than capable. You have every resource in the world. You have more resources than most people. So you should feel very grateful for that. But you have to make the choice. Are you going to show up every day? Are you going to make a change tonight in the amount of action that you take, in the amount of energy that you bring to your business, and the amount of gratefulness, the amount of effort that you put into this, the amount of heart and emotion and passion? Because if you can make that decision, you're going to see July, boom, it's going to be banging. It's going to be crazy. But you have to make that decision. Some people on our team are crushing it. Some people aren't hitting the goals that they want. Everybody has the same resources. And there is no reason that you do not deserve the success that others have. That is one of the biggest realizations that I had in my business when I went to Summit last year, was that these people are no different from me. There is nothing that makes them more special for me. Why the hell not me? And so I did it. I told myself that, you know what, even the top of the top, which we're getting very close to. But I could look at the top 10 coaches and say, oh, well, she's not any better than me. She's not any different than me. She's just more consistent. She knows where she's going. She's very determined. And so I gave myself those traits. And here we are. It's a decision, it's a choice, and the choice is yours to make. And on that note, I am going to hopefully get this out of here and stop sharing, and let you guys know I am very, very thankful for you all hopping on tonight. I want to hear from you in the team page. I want to hear your top takeaways. I want to hear your thoughts. Are you committing to being outstanding in your business? Are you committing to the life of your dreams? Because you have to. I know it might seem like a silly mindset thing, but it's not. It's what's going to take you to the top. It's what's going to take you to the next level. So I want to hear from you guys after this call. Don't be one of the vast majority who does nothing. Don't be one of the vast majority who doesn't implement this into their business, who doesn't engage, who thinks, oh, I watched it, I don't need to comment. Oh, I'll watch it later. Oh, I hopped on in the halfway through, but I think I got the gist of it. Don't be that person. And I do have an amazing, exciting announcement for us all, which you guys will hear first. So we have our call, our FitBoss Squad exclusive team call. This is a huge deal. With Carl Deichler, the CEO, it is scheduled. It's going to be July 12th at 9 o'clock Central Time. And I want everybody on that call. This is the CEO of our company. The fact that he's taking the time to specifically chat to us, only our team, is insane. And it's going to be a live Zoom call, and I'm very, very excited. So I'll let you guys know that now so that you can all make plans appropriately so that you can absolutely attend that call. I'm going to try to record it, but I can never promise on a Zoom call. If he's hosting it, I don't even know if I can record it. So make it a priority, make it happen. I'm excited to hear from you guys tonight, and I'm ready to not only end up June strong, but freaking crush July. We are all going to be outstanding. Ready for it, ladies? Bye, guys.